Hey, I'm Lani Williams. I'm co-owner at Bones MMA in Torquay. I'm also pro fighter out of this gym and head coach here as well. I started Muay Thai simply as a way to get fit again. After the birth of my son 8 years ago, it was just kind of like a way for me to reclaim my body. I'd never really intended to fight or make this like a professional career. I just did it because I was passionate about it and I loved it. Me as a woman in the professional fighting industry, you definitely hear those remarks like women shouldn't be, I don't know, damaging their face or damaging their body or putting themselves in those sort of positions. You definitely hear remarks like, you're a really good fighter for a girl. And I think kind of those challenges come in every industry, but I've been really fortunate that I've had really supportive teammates and really supportive gyms to train in, that it doesn't really interfere with the way that I train or fight at the gym. The future is here. Like, I reckon we're already living it. You know, 5 years ago it would have been so different. 10 years ago it would have been like completely different if you had have asked me that then. You know, like Lumpini is one of the most famous Muay Thai stadiums in the world. It's been around since the 50s, and it wasn't until last year that women got to compete on that platform. So we're already seeing the change happening now. Don't worry about what other people think. I think we get so bogged down in like doing things to impress other people, or the things that society tell us we should be doing. I would just go with the flow and do whatever the hell you want to do, because it's your journey, it's your path, and it's not someone else's to live. So my advice to 5-year-old me would be to not worry what other people think, and just go and do it.
Hi there, I'm Winsome Coots, and I've been very actively associated with the Anglesea Community Garden for many years. In fact, up until recently I've been the convenor for 10 or 11 years, but I'm still very involved and I love the garden. Some of the reasons for being so motivated to contribute or participate in the Anglesea community in various ways is because I'm single now, and this is like a family to me, so I get to have all the friendships and support through the community group. I think the reason leaders are successful is really because of the people they work with, and that's what's made this place particularly good. You know, and I'm involved in other projects in the town now. We've got a labyrinth to be built, hopefully. But for me, the main thing that I love in life is organising things. So, you know, this is a treat for me. It's not a difficulty at all. I love organising people and events and so on. I want people to have fun. If I can help them have fun, that's terrific. I arrived in Anglesea about 12 or 13 years ago. In that time, I think I've seen quite a few female leaders in different organisations. But I'm sure it's a change from, 20 or 30 years ago, certainly when I was young. And I think what I want to see is more women, of course, assessed on their merit and skill rather than their sex. And I think that's happening, which makes me really optimistic, actually. By the time I got to be a teenager, I was starting to think things for myself. And I would like to say to have the confidence to listen to my own judgments and thoughts and not just do what everybody else thought I should do.
Hi, my name's Nelia. I work for Ocean Currents Electrical and I'm a second-year apprentice. So I decided to get into the trade industry after taking a gap year of high school and decided that it would be a great career opportunity. You get to get paid while you're learning. I think that was really important for me as a young adult. At first I thought it could be difficult, and it was, because you do have a biased view from people in society. But I made sure when I went for jobs and interviews that I manifested it really well in a safe environment and people that are equal and caring, and that's exactly what I got. So that was really important for when I went for jobs, that I was in a safe, equal space. And I guess being a tradie and a tradeswoman, you do get surprised by customers, by people. They can be a bit shocked, but it's a good flex on people and to open a conversation that people wouldn't really talk about otherwise. In my experience, that I've found it, I'm very fortunate in my job, and I've never experienced any sexism or biases and everything, and I'm really grateful for that. And I hope for the future of tradeswomen and tradesgirls getting into the industry that it's just natural and easy and equal opportunity. I was never told at high school that I could be a tradeswoman. It wasn't an option. I never got told. I had experiences with males that were told, but I was to go to uni. And I really wish that I was told that I could do that. I could become a tradeswoman. So I guess for my younger self, just know that there's so many more opportunities that you could take on than just going to uni or just figuring it out.
Hi, my name's Elle Steele. I am a 5-time Australian representative, a Paralympian. I won a gold medal when I was 14 and now I'm an intuitive business mentor. I was born with a condition called arthrogryposis multiplex congenita, which now means that after many years I'm using a chair pretty much permanently. When I was 11, I began swimming for therapy and later decided that I wanted to compete at the Sydney 2000 Paralympic. So my parents joined me up to a swimming club and I later on made the team. I competed on and off for Australia. Then later, when I needed to retire due to injury, went to a spiritual healer and got into my intuition and learned about positive thinking, and that later led me into what I do now as a business. I currently live in the Surf Coast Shire and run my business I Am Elle Steele, which helps women to build better lives and better businesses, and I also help the Surf Coast Shire to create better access for people with disabilities. As a woman and a woman with disability, the challenges I have faced have been things like people deciding that they know best for me, employment issues where I haven't been seen as a fully fledged participant in an organisation, and people deciding that I need help just in the street even though they're not connected to me in any kind of way. I would like to see a future that encompasses women with disabilities being in boardrooms and running $1 million businesses. And my big dream for women and girls with disabilities is that they can step into their brilliance in any way they choose. If I could give my young self or a young woman with disability any advice, it would be to remind me or them that they are capable of having what they want in their life. They are capable of achieving what they want in their life, and I have every right to ask for the access that I need and for people to see me as a full participant in the world. I also have every right to be independent, an independent woman with a disability. So if I could send myself a message as a young kid, it would be to remember that I'll be okay and to use my voice.
Hi, I'm Harper and I'm a part of the Surf Coast Environmental Action Team. I got involved with Surf Coast Environmental Action Team through my parents' involvement in other groups. I've more independently joined these other groups such as Skeet and Youth for Climate. That's where my love of the environment and climate activism grew. As a young person in environmental activism, the groups that I've been in have been so supportive and so welcoming, and it's just a really great community of like-minded people. There are some kinds of people that would be against having younger females or like other diverse groups in a part of their organisations, but specifically with climate activism, it's a very welcoming community. Well, I want it to be more accessible for future generations of women and young girls to be able to participate in this activism and to be able to feel supported and welcomed into these communities. I feel very fortunate that I haven't experienced many negative encounters through environmental activism, but I know there are so many other organisations and groups that have negative reactions towards young women and women in their groups, such as Parliament with Brittany Higgins and Grace Tame. The way they're treated is awful and definitely needs to be improved. If I could give my 5-year-old self advice, I would tell them that just take as many opportunities as you can and stand for what you believe in and do whatever you can to make things that you think is wrong right.